One day, on a peaceful morning, with soft sunlight stretching across the land and a gentle breeze carrying the scent of flowers, a man came to seek advice from Gautama Buddha. The man's face looked tired and troubled, with deep furrows on his forehead as if the weight of the world rested upon him. Every day, he struggled with anger and frustration, like heavy clouds blocking out the light in his mind, leaving him feeling overwhelmed and lost. He hoped that Buddha could help him find a way to ease his burden and bring clarity to his soul. Buddha smiled warmly, his face serene like the surface of a calm lake untouched by storms. He gestured kindly for the man to sit on a simple mat under the shade of the Bodhi tree, where soft light filtered through the leaves. In a soothing voice, Buddha began to speak slowly.
Let me tell you a story.
Long ago, in a distant kingdom, enjoying the coolness of autumn, there was a king who ruled a prosperous land. That morning, sunlight peeked through golden leaves, casting a peaceful but slightly wistful feeling. Though the king projected an image of strength and authority, beneath that exterior, he often felt restless, easily upset when things didn't go his way. One day, the king decided to visit a neighboring kingdom, eager to learn from its ruler, who was known for his wisdom. Upon his arrival, the visiting king was greeted with respect and honor, and a lavish banquet was prepared in his name. The air was filled with the aroma of delicious dishes, and the grand hall buzzed with lively conversation. However, as the king lifted a steaming bowl of soup to his lips, his expression darkened. He noticed a tiny fly drifting lazily in his bowl. The irritation inside him flared, like a small spark igniting dry tinder. With a scowl and fire in his eyes, he barked at a servant.
Bring me another bowl, now!
The wise king of the neighboring land observed everything quietly. With a calm demeanor and a gentle smile, he softly said,
Your Majesty, please don't let this upset you. It's just a little fly, it doesn't matter.
The visiting king's voice turned cold as he replied, I cannot tolerate such things. Even a tiny fly can ruin my mood. Still composed, the wise king smiled and said,
Your Majesty, it's not the fly that ruined your mood, it's your reaction. You have the power to control your emotions. Don't let them control you.
The words felt like a cool breeze sweeping through the visiting king's mind, clearing away the storm of frustration. His tense face softened as he sat in reflective silence, absorbing the wisdom in what had just been said. On his journey back home, the sun was setting in a brilliant blaze of red and gold, casting a serene calm over the land. The king resolved to change. From that day on, whenever something annoyed him, he would close his eyes, take a deep breath, and stay calm. He discovered that the less he reacted impulsively, the clearer his mind became, allowing him to make wiser decisions. In another part of the world, on a bright spring morning beneath a clear blue sky, lived a young man named Michael. Michael was a deeply emotional person who often reacted impulsively. Even the smallest remarks could light a fire inside him, making his eyes flash with frustration. Without thinking, he'd say harsh words that stung like sharp arrows, hurting the people around him. One day, after a heated argument with a close friend, Michael felt exhausted and empty. He realized that his anger wasn't just hurting others, it was wearing him down. Determined to change, he decided to take control of his emotions. Michael turned to mindfulness and meditation, learning to observe his feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Every time anger began to rise, he would pause, close his eyes, and take a deep breath. He would tell himself, "This anger will pass." By focusing on the present moment, he found a way to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. At first, it wasn't easy. But day by day, he noticed small changes. The arguments grew fewer, and his relationships began to flourish. Those around him recognized the difference in his demeanor and admired the calmness he exuded. One day, a friend came to Michael, his face heavy with worry. He confided in Michael, sharing the struggles that were weighing on him. With kind, understanding eyes, Michael listened quietly and offered gentle words of encouragement.
It's not that I don't feel anger or sadness. I've just learned to manage them so they don't control me.
The friend smiled with gratitude and said,
You always know the right thing to say. It's amazing how calm you always seem.
Michael smiled back. From that day forward, Michael became someone others looked up to. He navigated challenges with a clear mind and a gentle heart, finding strength in his newfound peace.
It's going to be okay. Just take a breath. Don't let your emotions take over.
The stories of the king and Michael remind us that life doesn't always go our way. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By practicing patience and mindfulness, we can make better decisions, strengthen our relationships, and find peace within ourselves. Happiness isn't something that comes from the outside. It's how we respond to the world around us. We all need to learn how to let go of anger and approach life with understanding and compassion. Only when we master our emotions can we truly take control of our lives.